In this video, we'll go through an example of creating an item for your online store. To create a new item for your store, you can do that in Features, Sell and Fundraise Items. To create a new item, click Add in the top right. Let's create an example of a t-shirt for sale in our online store. So the first thing we will do is we're going to add a photo or a featured image for our t-shirt. And next, we're going to assign a SKU to it. GiveCloud automatically assigns a SKU number, but you can change this to a convention that makes sense for your organization. Next, let's enter a name for our t-shirt. Let's call it t-shirt. And we can enter a summary as well. This is a t-shirt. Now let's define the price and options for this t-shirt. Now it's important to note that inventory is tracked on each price option. So for this example of a t-shirt, we're going to create options for small, medium, and large, and we can track inventory individually on each of those options. So first of all, we're going to click default option, and we're going to name this to small. And the payment type is one time. And the price type, we're going to leave as fixed price because the small t-shirt costs a certain amount. And let's put in $15 in there. Let's hit save on that. And now let's add our other options as well. So let's do a medium. And that's also $15. And let's add a large. And that's also $15. Now that we've added our options, let's enter how much we have in stock of each of these options. So for our small, we're going to click into it and click inventory here. And we can enter in 10 because we have 10 in stock. Now it's important to notice that the code or SKU is tracked at the item level, but you can also enter individual SKUs for your variants as well. So maybe your small t-shirt has a specific SKU versus your medium versus your large, and you can choose to enter that as well. So for our small t-shirt, we put 10 in stock in there. For our medium, let's put 10 in stock also. And for our large, let's say we have 20 in stock as well. So we've set up our prices, our price and options here, small, medium, and large for our t-shirts. And let's scroll down here to inventory control. So in here, because we're selling an item where there's a certain amount in stock, we're going to change this option to stop accepting contributions when out of stock. This means that if any of these items go out of stock, so let's say we sell all of our 10 t-shirts, then the small option will show as sold out on your item. You can also choose to enter a custom out of stock message there. So we can say, so by default, it says sold out, but we can change that to something else if we wanted to. So this item is no longer in stock. Limit number of sales. Now, this is not tied to the individual inventory of each item. This is limiting number of sales of the entire t-shirt. So let's say that we only wanted to sell this t-shirt 10 times, then we'll enter 10 here. And this number is not affected by the number of items that we have in stock. Now, if an item is out of stock, one of these options is out of stock, it will show as sold out. But once we've sold 10 of this entire t-shirt, then the t-shirt itself will show as sold out. Add two buttons. So by default, on your item, the default button says add to cart. You can enter your own label in there. It can be add to basket or whatever makes sense for your organization. We can also add an alternate button. Now this alternate button will add the current item to cart and the customer will be redirected to whatever link is provided here. So for example, we can say add to cart and continue shopping. And we can provide a link here back to our main store page or the home page of your site, for example. Staff notifications. If you have a specific person on your team that needs to be notified whenever a certain item is sold, you can enter their email address in here. You can enter multiple email addresses. They just need to be comma separated. So for example, and there we've set up staff notifications on this specific item. Now let's look at some other options here. Page layout over on the right. We can choose different page layouts to show how we want this shirt to be displayed to our customer. So right now we're going to leave it as default. We're also going to enable show on website so that the URL to this specific item is now public. Now that we've enabled that, let's hit save over here and see what that looks like. So now that we've clicked save, we can see that a URL was automatically generated up here. Now, if you'd like, you can change that URL by clicking on the little edit link, and you can change that to, for example, just /store/t-shirt. Now let's have a look at what this t-shirt looks like to our customers by clicking on the URL. So here it is. This is what the t-shirt item will look like on your store. Now it is using the default template, and the default template has a layout with image on the left and information and add to cart on the right. There's also the option for your customer to select what quantity of shirt they want to be added to cart. Now, if we click in here, we can see our options for small, medium, and large, and they can be selected. Now, let's look at some other options we have here in our online store. So we can choose to hide the price of our item, which we won't do in this scenario, or we can also choose to hide the quantity, which will hide this quantity selector on the item. There's also the option to flag this as a new or featured product, which creates a flag for it so that it will show up as featured on your store category. And we will get to creating the store category in a future video. Now, we currently have the default template selected for our t-shirt, which looks like this, but we can alternately choose a different add to cart template. So let's choose our product template, for example. So now that we've saved that, let's hit refresh on there. And now we can see that there's a similar layout, but now the image has a different style to it. There are also some other things that will show up differently on this template. So let's say you wanted to add some more of a description to your t-shirt item. Then you can click on to page content here, and you can add a description here. Let's hit save on that and refresh, and we can see our description show up here. Now, with items in your store, you probably want to add multiple images. So for example, in this t-shirt, we may want to have a front image of the shirt and maybe a back image of the shirt as well. We can do that by clicking on a variant or an option and clicking on images, which is selected here by default, and click upload images, which will then give you the option to upload another image from your desktop.